I was at the Flamingo Hotel, working undercover, trying to infiltrate the Hells Angels. And the Flamingo almost emptied out. I was left to wonder, like, what's going on? Where did they all go?
Ray comes in with a group of members from the Flamingo. Ray had a ball-peen hammer, and he flipped the handle of the ball-peen hammer and handed it to me. There was a drunk mongrel sitting against the post, and he had a cocktail in his hand. Ray, Mr. X kickboxer, kicked the mongrel's drink out of his hand. The minute that kick happened, it's just like everything erupted. I'm in the middle of a shootout with a ball-peen hammer, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, I see this hand come around with a gun. I lunge myself forward. I felt like I got hit by a truck. I landed flat on my face. It came out my chest, and it blew the ink out of my tattoo. I felt it, I smelt it, it sizzled.
Some of the major, most violent players at the Harrah's riot were Arizona Hells Angels. We had no choice but to investigate them. But as I learned more about them, I realized I was in over my head. The game changed for us after the Laughlin riot because it made our investigation very easy to sell to the higher-ups. The Hells Angels were operating violently with impunity. They needed to be investigated.
I've never spoken about my experience with the Hells Angels before. Jay was already established as this guy in Bullhead City who rode around on a motorcycle in a tank top with a double-ray gun because it's open carry. So he had already kind of set up his persona.
The initial plan of Operation Black Biscuit was to set up a biker gang to run side by side with the Hells Angels in Arizona.
So the ATF sets up a chapter of a puppet club. Puppet clubs are very valuable to the Hells Angels because they already know they've been vetted, maybe they've been to several runs, so they know who these people are. So it kind of bypasses a lot of the worry that they're going to be informants or law enforcement.
We had an informant that made some introductions. We extorted our way in to the Solo Angels motorcycle gang. They were a nobody club in Tijuana, Mexico. We set up a charter entirely made up of law enforcement officers wearing Solo Angel cuts with Arizona side rockers. Now we were existing and living in their world, in the biker world.
Setting up a legitimate puppet club to infiltrate a legitimate biker gang was incredibly novel. It had never been done before. This ruse was incredibly risky.
I understood that as long as they believed my lie, I was safe, but that if I slipped up, there was going to be a price to pay for that. We just mimicked what we saw the Hells Angels doing. If they were selling T-shirts, we sold T-shirts. When they were handing out support stickers, we handed out support stickers. They were throwing parties, we threw parties. And we invited the Hells Angels to come and be our guests.
Talk about?
We ran an extensive street theater operation. Street theater is where we in law enforcement would set up skits that appeared to be crime events. Selling drugs, buying drugs, selling guns, buying guns. We would allow the Hells Angels to witness us creating inaccurate conclusions from accurate observations. We did a full patch ceremony.
We're doing this, we've got some friends here.
We told the Hells Angels, we're gonna put a full patch on this prospect. It would be an honor for us, for you to witness us patching this member.
Any other brothers want to say anything?
Before we give him his patch, we're gonna mud check him. You're gonna see that we handle our business the right way.
We're gonna talk to you. We got some concerns with where you're at right now in the club, all right?
We wanna put some stress on him.
First of all, I want to know if you can explain yourself the way you acted when we were in Florida.
What can I say, man? It was business.
Well, you know what, when you're asked to do something, you got to do it exactly the way you're asked to do it. I hate to make an example of you, but, you know, why don't you take that, take it off right now.
We're gonna let him believe that he's being actually kicked out of the club.
Thought I took care of that.
Don't talk to me. You just sit there and listen.
We need you to play along.
You don't question anybody. You're a prospect, and you're lucky to be that. You serious? Take the cut off. Don't ask questions.
Sit back down.
We wanna see what his reaction is.
I don't know what to say. I did everything 100% every time. You're the boss, man.
Well, you know what? I guess you did. I guess you
Ultimately, we put his patch on his back, and the entire event was witnessed by a dozen Hells Angels.
I just kind of wondering who he was going to get up and hit first.
Jay Dobyns had this sort of innate ability to stay in character 24/7 and live in that world. He had the persona, the charisma. He really convinced the Hells Angels that he was this person. He was courted by every chapter in Arizona to be their prospect.
I befriended Mesa Hells Angels president, Bad Bob Johnston. All you had to do was mention that name, and it struck fear in people. Everyone knew Bad Bob. He had a 25-man charter, a beautiful clubhouse. He would open doors for me in the Hells Angels world that I wasn't capable of opening on my own. He was mentoring me. I said to him, "You are one of the most powerful Hells Angels in America. Show me how to run a charter. Show me how to be the baddest biker on the planet." The biggest challenge from my perspective is, can you be an undercover agent and in that environment, in that world, maintain your dignity and your integrity? Because it's constantly being challenged.